Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for the Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, LeRon Dawkins, back in the house, of course. And with me, as always, is the one and only Mr. Corey Deere.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
I bet you are.
Mm-hmm.
That smooth, sexy voice that you had going on before we started recording, you know.
Some say sexy, some say creepy.
I mean, I don't know.
It just depends if she's into you or not, LeRon, okay?
So let me ask my other co-host, Stephanie Klimov, this question. Was that panty dropping material there that he was giving us right before we started the show? Or,
I don't like this conversation at all.
I was traumatized.
So was I.
All right, we have a couple of guests here with us tonight. I'm gonna start with the new guy here, Mr. RushJet TV, because somehow like your name is escaping me now. Did we even get a proper intro the last segment?
Yeah, RushJet TV. That's his name.
Okay. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Not much, brother. Thanks for letting me still hang out and not sweeping me out after I just let myself in.
The window's always unlocked. It's fine.
Also, I'll let you know, my panties dropped. So,
All right, so far I got 50-50.
Yeah,
50-50.
You just made Corey's night. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So we need a tiebreaker.
It's a coin flip,
here.
everybody. Relationships are just a
here.
coin flip.
Coin flip.
he's not wrong.
All right. Well, Matt, you're the swing vote here. Welcome back, Matt Kiel. By the way, always wonderful to have you.
Happy to be here. I'm just going to continue a running joke from the last time I was here by quoting the end of an episode of Mr. Show from the 90s. Don't stick your dick in these holes.
Mr. Show, I remember that.
I want them waxed, cleaned, and wiped out.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can send this one over the edge. Panty dropper or no?
Oh, no.
I mean, you're also talking to someone who's been friends with Corey for 8 years.
I've been friend zoned by Matt.
Hold on, don't do not fluff him for the sake of fluffing.
Oh, I don't hand my fluffs out willy-nilly, sir. I only genuinely fluff those that need the fluffing, and my fluffs are earnest and honest. And Corey's, southern nicotine drenched sexy radio man got me wet in places that I had never previously been wet. So panty dropper, my friend. Panty dropper.
He flooded your basement.
Hit the horns.
to quote Pam from Archer, sploosh.
It's the opening from The Shining.
Floodgates floodgates, all of them open.
Oh man.
Not that I should probably be telling the story in public.
But
Yeah.
Welcome to After Dark, right off the bat.
Please.
Love it.
So,
please tell us.
no, my cousin and a group of his friends they wanted to go to a strip club when I was like 18 or 19. And they said, you need to go because we need somebody who can drive us home. And I said, okay, I'm 18, 19. Strip clubs are cool to an 18 or 19-year-old. Why not? And so I went, and they purchased me a dance from a lovely young lady named Mary Jane.
Okay.
And
wow, your life is a Tom Petty song. Here we go.
Sure is. I don't think he ever sang about the next thing that's about to come out of my mouth.
oh man.
How do I put this? My jeans I was wearing had a stain on them, covered in glitter, and they didn't come out for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God. Isn't it nice when you leave the strip joint with a reminder?
It took a good
She trailed you.
It took a good 2 or 3 washes to get those out.
Wow.
Yeah.
The weirdest glitter bomb party favor ever.
Also,
now here's the question:
smelled a
were you
lot
still
like cocoa
were you still
butter
living
and
at your parents'
sadness.
house?
What? What'd you say, LeRon?
I was like, were you still living at your parents' house when all this went down?
Oh yeah, I was 18. No, well, no, I was.
You might have went straight to college.
I was living in Columbus, and I came home for some sort of, I guess it would have been like spring break or summer break, one of those warm months. I don't know. Strip clubs are weird. I'm not sure that like I have any interest to ever go back to one. Like I just like, I don't know. I just don't, you know.
There's a varying range of how weird strip clubs can get.
That yeah, that's
it could
true.
go from basically what you have to you ever been in a strip club where the second you walk in they confiscate your phone?
Ooh.
That's when you know something's up.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would not even be partaking in it.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I turned around. They're like, all right, surcharge and phone. We put it in the lockbox. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Peace.
Yeah.
No thanks. No
Yeah.
thanks.
I am not going to yuck anyone's yum about going to a strip club.
Definitely was not yum.
You know, sex workers are workers. Give them benefits. You know, all of that. But like that, it's not for me. It's the couple of times I've been to a strip club, like when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was never ever comfortable in them, and I always felt like the couple of lap dances I've had, I felt like I was the disappointment.
Well, it's already a disappointment because you're paying a woman to touch you. So I mean, that's
it wasn't
already
even that.
makes.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, what's a lap? I don't know I didn't know what a lap dance was before I had one, and then when I had one, I'm like, okay, maybe I get this, and then I tried again. And I'm like, nope, this isn't for me. It's not my thing.
LeRon, does this mean I'm the degenerate of the group? Because I like going, and I'm like constantly harassing people to come with me to a strip club, and nobody wants to go.
It's funny because like I actually
enjoy going to strip clubs myself. I don't go to. I don't just like. But it's not just a thing that I do on the regular though. But
no, that would cost too much. But
but beyond that, you know, like you know, when I graduated from high school and stuff, I was and I first went to my very first strip club and everything. I was like, okay, this is different, you know. But now as I'm more mature and stuff, you know, like I appreciate the value of sex work, you know, and this especially in this day and age now and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes in all honesty, for me, like I like to go to strip clubs just for like the atmosphere and the environment, you know, because like if you go to the right club, like you know, it's a good time, like in entertaining and stuff like that, you know. Nothing skeevy or nothing like that, you know. Like I can count on one hand the number of times I've actually paid for lap dances on one hand, you know, and stuff like that, you know, because you know I'm just there, like you know, like to respect the craft, if that makes sense, you know.
And the wings.
Yeah. I have never eaten in a strip club.
No.
I feel like that's a bridge too far. I will drink, but I feel like.
Well, I mean, and LeRon, you know, and Corey, you don't. Maybe the guests don't, but like I take.
Burglar.
Uh-oh.
No, I was just wondering, like, did my son get it?
I take squirrel.
Is it a cat or is it a son?
I take pole fitness. I have a pole in my room. I've been doing pole while I've been quarantining, so I actually have a respect for that too. And I'm the idiot that when I go into strip clubs, I really hate it when men sit so far back and they're so cheap about it. So I sit in the front, like right up front, and I'm just having a conversation.
Rain.
That's you know.
And
that's
I'm just like, is that a trick hard? Do you like what you do? I'm the idiot that just talks to them.
That's something I noticed. Like there's always a massive group of dudes who act like they're too cool for the room, that they just sit in the darkest section of the club, you know, and will occasionally hoot and holler, you know, but won't really like engage, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And then you got the other ones that, you know, like the ones that are just like I don't know. Like I don't want to call anybody out. But like the guys who are desperate, so they're like they're basically about to climb up on the stage. They're that close, and stuff like that. And it's like come on, man. Like she'll come to you. You don't have to basically assault her.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is show you're ready to throw out some cash, and she'll come to you.
Or on you in my situation. I've actually found that throughout the years of different friend groups that I've had, it's actually been women and my gay friends who enjoy that atmosphere more than my straight friends.
Interesting.
And I mean, I don't know if that's just kind of it's ironic or whatever, but I just, anytime I would go, it would be with a group of girls or my gay friends or both. So it was just something I noticed, I guess.
Well, I think another reason why I have a different type of appreciation for it is because I have a few friends who are actually entertainers / dancers at a couple of the clubs out here. I've got two female friends of mine and one guy that I know. They do it, and yeah, they talk about stuff. I've heard some of the wildest fucking stories, and I've heard some of the shit that's man, you need to call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you kind of know people who are in that thing, you kind of get a different type of appreciation for it. So that's where I was, and I think I've always been able to differentiate from the entertainment to the sexuality and stuff like that, and so it's always a good time for me. I haven't been to some of the crazy ass strip clubs where girls are fucking like one arm and one leg straight twerking off the pole, and it's okay, let's get this. I haven't anything crazy like that, but the people who I've seen they do the damn thing. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
LeRon, if you ever come up to the New England area,
we're doing this.
Going to my class. Maybe we'll go to amateur pole night. Let's go.
Okay, I gotta drop about 15 pounds. I will definitely go to pole class with you.
Hearing you two talk about it and the way you were just saying it, I think I probably went with the wrong people and when I was too young. Because I'm gonna be 43 in less than a month, and I was 19, between the ages of 19 and 22. I also grew up in a very sheltered, near fundamentalist environment. So a lot of that was frowned upon. A lot of that was frowned upon. Anyway.
You could have went buck wild, what's the Amish, the Amish people when they have their room springer.
Yeah, their room springer.
They get their 2 weeks where they experience a lifestyle of just the secular people,
Mm-hmm. and seeing and if I had been brought up in an environment where that was talked about in a more mature fashion, or at least just acknowledged, because most of that in the Midwest where I grew up, it was just you don't talk about it. You don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And and the most exposure I had as a kid was Married with Children, where Al Bundy is just talking about jugs. And it's the stupidest, most misogynist, and then the people I went with were just assholes. So they were out there, hooting and hollering, just throwing money, going, "Hey, I use my money, come to me." Blah, blah, blah. I'm what? Looking back, it's wow, I'm with a bunch of entitled white kids. Fuck them. But and I would go now just to see what it's like and see how I feel now, because I have learned a bit of things.
Oh, I've been to a Las Vegas strip club, and that shit's amazing. But that shit's expensive too.
Sure, yeah.
I would never do that one again. Well, I mean, I would probably do it again, but I definitely wouldn't do it the way I did it the one time I was there.
Special occasions only.
I walked up out of there. I was like, man, the only thing left for me to do is go back to the fucking hotel. The night's over now.
Yeah.
Use my last $5, win it at blackjack. Let's see if we can do this.
Shit. Let's go ahead and hit the slots.
Yeah. That means two things. Yeah. Anyways.
Hey, Corey, let's talk about those patrons real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably do that, huh? If you like Boss Rush After Dark, which most of you seemingly do, according to Patreon, you can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can support your favorite creators directly, monthly. We offer 2 monthly tiers. The $1 tier, where you get early access to Boss Rush After Dark, the Boss Rush Podcast, Expansion Pass, Talk the Walk, and 1v1 interviews. But at the $5 tier, you can become a Patreon producer. What does that mean? It means you get early access plus a shout out right here on this here program. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of Boss Rush After Dark are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, like the video,
Ding dong.
comment, tell us
My
your
wife.
tell us your favorite tell us your favorite episode and why it's holes. And yeah. We appreciate your patronage and your listens. Back to you, LeRon.
You know what? Considering that you're always like calling out episodes of the shows, you know, like every week, because you've been doing this now for like the past 6-7 episodes now, right, Stephanie? Feels like it.
Mhm.
Like he's calling out episodes and stuff like that. I gotta step my game up because like Crossroads is coming up in episode 100.
Woohoo!
And we're trying to have some fun for the 100th episode. It should be happening in about 2 weeks from now.
Well, I think I just think this show is kind of meant to be snarky and funny and dumb, right? And like coming up with dumb, snarky names makes it easier to remember names of this show instead of like, oh, right. Nintendo Power Block is Mario plus Rabbids impressions. What did we think? ? Yeah. You know, like I mean, it's just
like that.
How are the holes?
Gaping.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, like, you know, it's just funny. Like the episode you had Celeste on, and you guys were talking about like private school and stuff. I mean, that's clearly going to be called Catholic School Girls. Okay, that's just it is what it is. You know, Conquered by Clippy is an unforgettable episode. Okay, episode 29 for those of you counting. You know, it's just a fun show to name, and you know, what's your sign? You know, Come to Bed was last week's episode. That was fun. Mm-hmm. That was a good episode. But see, it wasn't really like a sexual thing. We were just all dead fucking tired and wanted to go to bed.
True.
You know, so it's just, you know, it's just a fun show to name, right? This episode, I don't even remember what we talked about. It's called Say My Name. Why did we say that? I don't know. Fake It Till You Make It. That's another great name of this episode of this show.
Oh God, that was a fun episode.
Yeah. Something Tight and White. What did we talk about on that episode? Oh my God.
I don't remember that.
Ooh.
Let's
Tight and White. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna. It says this week.
That sounds like there needs an age restriction on it.
So okay, so this is the description of Something Tight and White. This week, LeRon, Stephanie, and Corey discuss the male version of a wet T-shirt contest, Jell-O and chocolate wrestling, broken relationships, and more. Be advised, discussions in this podcast are not for people under the age of 18 and who are uncomfortable with any type of NSFW discussions.
All right, so everybody should definitely go back to that episode. By the way, the male version of the wet T-shirt contest is a wet boxers contest.
Oh,
it reminded me of a lyric from a Bloodhound Gang song. They call me Mighty Tighty Whitey, and I'm smuggling plums.
The dollar amount. That's an
oh yeah. What's your number?
Who's the bad guy? That was one.
I don't remember that one.
This was episode 12. It says. I don't
Who's
know.
your bad guy?
Yeah. So, Anyways, anybody ever date a stripper?
Yep.
Not to like circle back around.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to, but
That's
not a good idea.
That's a.
I've never dated a stripper. I've had sex with a stripper, when they're off duty. When they're off duty.
Off duty. What are they, a
Yeah.
cop?
Sometimes, if you buy the right outfit, they are.
Yeah, true.
No, I was one of those scaredy cats
duty.
that was not trying to get the bouncer to beat my ass, and some shit went down in the champagne room. So yeah,
Champagne.
Champagne.
So that was I've had a hookup with stripper, after hours.
Yeah. I did for a while. That was she worked at Quiznos during the day. Stripped in that. Saying I like food and I like what I like, I guess. I don't know.
I like sandwiches and I like boobs. You put them together.
Funny thing is, she didn't have big boobs. They were like kind
Doesn't
of
matter.
small.
Doesn't matter.
She was kind of small though, so.
Obnoxiously large boobs are not my thing.
Yeah.
They're not.
I like a small handful, but nothing
all
that's
you-
like can't fit,
All you need is a handful. If it's bigger than a handful, then
This is refreshing because I always had this misconception that you need to have the largest tits in the world, and there's an astounding amount of women with fake tits, and I have this hang up about
dated
dating
one of
men
those too. Those are
I
weird.
have a hang up with people who've dated. My last two exes their last girlfriend had fake tits, and I'm like, oh my! I had like what are the thing when guys are like self-conscious of if they have a small penis? I have like the same issue.
I mean, it's fine. All you need is a handful. I mean, if it's bigger, bless you. Right on. I'm not
Look,
complaining.
If they're big enough for me to suffocate it, I don't want them. That's all I gotta say.
That's exactly. I'm not trying to die in the pillow fight. I'm not.
I'd try it once.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. If I get suffocated by them, just know that I died doing what I love.
Exactly.
But I was forever changed at the ripe young age of 17 when I worked at Sam's Club. In the break room one day, someone jerry-rigged the TV to bring up the Playboy channel. And we had a greeter. Her name was Marion. She was a lovely woman. She was into her 80s when she worked at Sam's Club. She comes in and sits down and starts eating her sandwich and then looks up at the TV. She's like, well, what are we watching here? And my coworker Brad and I are kind of giggling because we are teenagers. And we're like, this is the Playboy channel. She's like, did you guys want to change it? We're like, no. She's like, all right, I'll let you do what you do. But then she started looking and critiquing each scene. And she's like, now look at this. More than a mouthful just seems like a waste of time. And then does a little nudge to Brad and goes, aren't I right? And I just said, answer the woman, Brad.
She sounds awesome.
His face turned purple, and then he got up and walked out. He forgot to clock back in. It was hilarious.
Wow. Yeah, dating someone with fake boobs is weird too because they don't feel natural. At least these ones didn't. I don't know what happened to them, but they feel like wet sandbags.
Oh, okay.
They just don't.
It's
They don't.
not a lot of give to it, right?
They don't move right. Like they just. I'm just like, I don't know. Should I? It's like a. Should I mold it back like Play-Doh? I don't understand. Like, why are my fingerprints still in there? I don't. It wasn't that bad, but okay. So that's real hyperbole there, but like it definitely felt like that. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely like, oh, I'm gonna make a really nice clay statue out of your tit here, and it's just like, I guess your nipple is pointing, so I got to give it a hat. But
Starts molding it.
yeah. So
Look,
and then-
it's a witch.
God, I could just see Corey in this situation turning into Richard Dreyfuss from Close Encounters. This means something. This is
Yeah.
important.
yeah,
Just molding it.
yeah. It's just yeah, they're strange. So that was something I was like, I'm never gonna do that again. You know, I mean, I guess if you know, look, looks aren't everything. I get it, but if you know, it doesn't feel like a pillow and it feels like a bag of sand, it's you know, I don't know, I don't know, you know. So
Makes me think of the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Call back to that movie when he was trying to explain what a boob feels like. He's like, feels like a bag of sand when you touch it.
yeah,
Oh, I don't want your 40-pound box of porn.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. So cool. Man, now I really want some Quiznos now though. To rapid background. Look, man, Quiznos doesn't exist around here anymore because they all went bankrupt.
Shit.
Anymore either.
Shit, now I'm horny and I
Does
want
Quiznos
to
even
sub.
exist?
Man,
I think there's still some around. There's just none around in the places that we need them to be.
you know what they should do? They should build a strip club
I'm
with
horny
a
and I
Quiznos
want
in
to
it.
sub Boss Rush
Right next to a
Patreon.
Quiznos.
Yeah, same plaza.
It's just got a sub deli and the strippers make the sandwich for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Yeah.
Hey,
It's genius.
remember, they used to have like a sandwich called the torpedo. Remember?
Did they? I don't know. I was a
Hmm?
big fan. I was a big fan of the Baja chicken and the chicken carbonara.
Yes, me too. The chicken carbonara for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, it's grilled chicken and bacon. How could you not like and cheese? Like how could you not?
How do we turn this into the stereotypical guy cast where all we talking about is boobs, strippers, and
Boobs
food?
and food.
I'm participating.
You're one
You
of
know
the
what
guys
else I
tonight,
like?
Stephanie. I
Cold
guess.
Coors Light.
All we need is some sports and some beer, and we're good to go. I guess.
Some fantasy football chat. Nah.
Right.
My
Now let's talk
friend.
about John Man.
Boom.
Oh, there it is. He can
The
paint
Eagles
cold
are
cuts.
6-0. I don't know what to tell you.
It's true.
Wow,
the
that's
Browns
impressive.
are not.
No.
Rip.
And the Phillies are going to the World Series.
What is happening in
Oh,
Philadelphia?
It's this town
no.
I live in.
So what you mean is, regardless if they win, if the teams win or lose at this point, the city is going to be on fire.
Not necessarily. I don't. You know what? I think if the Phillies get swept, it won't burn. It won't burn near as badly. If it goes to 6 games and they lose on some bullshit, yeah, Philly's gonna burn.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not excited to work in the ER that night. I'm not excited.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, friend.
man.
So, who has a topic?
Oh yeah, do we have some spooky ones?
I heard something about some scary movies.
Yeah. Well. For those who are listening, because this show comes 2 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
Patrons-
Sorry.
Yeah. Stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So this episode is being recorded the week before Halloween. So like this is our spooky topic for tonight if we want to talk about them. I had a topic which if you guys want to partake in it, I was going to ask what's your favorite scary movie or TV show, because TV in this day and age is just as fucked up as movies are now. What's your favorite and some shows aren't even intentionally trying to be scary. They just have those random one-off episodes that scare the shit out of you, So we don't need to talk about American Horror Story if we don't want to. But also I want to ask you what horror scene gave you an irrational fear after you saw it?
Ha. For
For example, an irrational fear of mine I have is because I'm big into the entire Alien franchise and all that stuff. How sometimes the aliens lurking on the ceiling will just snatch you the fuck up. so yeah, I have irrational fears about that after seeing like Alien 3, and it's a scene where Ripley's in the dorm in the infirmary with the doctor, and he's giving her like a shot. I don't know what he was giving her a shot for. I think it was just some like because she was still having like symptoms from when she crashed on the planet or whatnot. So he was giving her something basically like take the edge off of it. And you know you got hospital curtains that are basically there for privacy and stuff like that. Yeah, so like he closed the curtain because there's only one other patient in the infirmary with them, and so while he's administering the shot, the xenomorph shows up and grabs home dude through the freaking like the shower, basically the curtain, and head bites him and then drags him up the vent. Well, now, it gave me this irrational fear. So, like, whenever I'm in the fucking shower now, and I'm fucking like shampooing my hair and shit, like I wash my hair the quickest when I'm in the fucking shower now because I had this irrational fear for years that something's gonna snatch me through the shower curtain. Yeah, but
I can see that.
But I'm also the kid my dad accidentally took at 11 years old to go see the second Alien movie, so Aliens. And I had night terrors for years.
Yeah,
I had night terrors for years. So yeah, like the xenomorphs just give me irrational fears. But every time a new Alien movie comes out, I always go see it.
A lot of my irrational fears stem from when because my parents were huge sci-fi and horror fans, which is ironic because they'll put on any R-rated horror movie and I'll walk in as a kid and they won't say shit. But when I was 12 and I was a month away from my 13th birthday, they would not let me see Meet the Parents because it was PG-13 with sexual content in there. Such bullshit.
Wait, your parents
You can milk anything with nipples.
Your parents are kind of wild because like almost every horror movie has like a fucking sex scene in it.
Yeah, well, I know. They're weird. Maybe it's like when there's something so blatantly a movie that is just a comedy and is known to be kind of like liberal with sex stuff. They're like, no, it's PG-13 and you're 12 and 11 months or whatever. But if it's horror movie, and I've seen the chick with the 3 titties from Total Recall when I was a little kid, and I was like, what? Oh, I'm bisexual. Okay, cool. No, anyway.
3 titties.
Oh, I'm into 3 titties.
No.
That led to some.
And now we're back to a casual guy cast somehow.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this: like, okay, so like the chick with 3 tits in Total Recall, you wound up with expectation versus reality moments in life later on, didn't you? Because
no, that was a joke. I actually realized I was bi when I was flipping through my dad's copy of Sports Illustrated, and I was like, oh, I'm experiencing things. But this is not the podcast for that. Anyway,
actually, this is the exact podcast for that.
Okay, this is not the right episode for that. 2 clowns.
I have. Will we fill with
clowns.
that?
Oh God.
Clowns.
Go for it. Okay.
Part of it is it, and that would seem like the most obvious answer, but it's Killer Clowns from Space. And my parents were watching it, and I walked in, and there's these fucking clowns that wrapped up the bodies in cotton candy, and they stuck the straw in there and was drinking their blood, and I was terrified. I am horrified of clowns. I hate clowns.
I have to ask you, Stephanie, because they're making a game based off of the movie.
I own that soundtrack on vinyl.
They're making another game, by the way. Another one.
Yeah, that game looks awful. It looks like trash. No, I had to get this one because it's got the original Dickies recording on it, and most of them don't when they repress the soundtracks.
So it's weird. Like when I saw it, that put me off clowns. But when I saw Killer Clowns, I was back on.
I can't fuck.
They got cotton candy guns. Ooh.
Oh gosh, the cotton candy. Oh gosh.
I can't fuck with it because I saw the original, the one from the 80s and stuff like that. And
same.
And I remember what happened to the kid when he actually like reached in the gutter.
Yep.
I remember. So when the remake came out, I refused to watch it, and everybody's like, hey, we saw it. we saw it. It's a good movie and everything. And the first thing I asked him, I was like, "What happened to the kid when he tried to get his damn when he tried to get
the boat thing,
get the boat,
paper boat, yeah."
And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You don't know what's supposed to happen?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "In the original, he got his arm fucking ripped off."
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, that."
Well, see, and then in the new one, it became like a meme that people would say, like, "Hey, I've got Elden Ring down here," or something. Like that. You know, it was so stupid.
Yep, I saw that scene too, LeRon. That also stuck with me.
Be like, "Hey, I've got an early copy of God of War Ragnarok. I'm climbing my ass right the fuck down in there."
Skitterly Scoo, don't mind if I do.
And 2 real quick honorable mentions for Irrational Fear: Leprechauns, because of Leprechaun, and movie. Yes, and
it's such a great Wayne's World 2-bit too. I'm the leprechaun. I'm a leprechaun.
And those like creepy dolls because of Chucky. I saw a lot of Chucky as a child. I refuse to stay in rooms with dolls like that.
Oh my god! So I guess those My Buddy dolls were just a non-starter for you.
Side tangent about a doll.
Those things were scary before I saw Child's Play.
Side tangent about a doll. When my grandma died, and we went down to her basement to clean out her house, she had a lot of dolls. But like, we went into the back room in the basement, which nobody went back there because it was super scary. And there was literally a doll hanging from she had like the lights with the pull string on it. There's literally a doll
from the pull string.
Yeah, and we were like, nobody touched the doll, and then its eyes opened.
No.
And we were all like in our 20s, right? Like we weren't like kids, and we were all like fuck this shit, and we all ran upstairs like somebody else can take this doll down.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld where they happen to see that doll that looks like George's mother, and everyone looks at it and just hears George's mom yelling at him.
Corey, you did the smart thing. You did the opposite of what people would do in horror movies. Good job. That's why you're alive today.
Yeah. So,
yeah, exactly.
Nope. Dolls are creepy, man.
So mine is stupid. I don't know which horror movie this comes from. I kind of think it's Creepshow, or like Tales from the Crypt, or something along those lines. It might not be any of those actual movies, but there was this one about a lake where a bunch of teenagers go to a lake and they're standing on they swim out to this wooden platform that's in the lake, and one of them tries to swim back, gets eaten. If anybody knows what this is, tell me what it is, because I don't remember.
It's Creepshow. It's the story of the lake on Creepshow 2.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even remember Tales from the Crypt actually being scary. I feel like it was more satirical in a way.
Well, so
it could be creepy,
It depends on which episode.
Yeah.
I've watched this since, and it's 100% not scary. But when I saw it as, an early teen, as someone who had gone to a lake in Michigan for several summers, it put me off lakes for a while. And whenever I go to Reba's family's cabin at the lake, I have a hard time going into lakes because I'm not really afraid per se, but it's just it's leery, it's creepy to me. And the source material that did this probably shouldn't have, but here we are. Yeah. And my favorite horror stuff is basically old silent German movies because they're really creepy.
Did you see that Nosferatu restoration in 4K and colorized?
I haven't seen that yet because it's colorized. I'm kind of turned off. That's
they didn't overdo it, but it's not the whole thing. It's only a little 4-minute handful of clips. But it was neat. It was cool to see.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen Black Mirror, the Netflix series? I like that type of well, some episodes are kind of blah, but
I've seen some random episodes from it. I've never actually like committed.
Yeah, I've not seen an episode of Black Mirror, and I need to
it's
start.
like a modernized Twilight Zone in a sense.
It's the first season of that show is fantastic. Like the first episode of that show is pretty much like the best writing that show gets. Like it was, that episode's fantastic. But I feel like that show, as it goes on, it doesn't stand the test of time. But yeah, it's worth checking out though.
There's one actually.
Twilight Zone is a good comparison.
One of the ones I like actually, it had to do with, it was like modeled after this guy who created a video game, but he had like this Star Trek fantasy. So LeRon, you should.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I saw that one. Of course, I saw that one.
I also like, and see, the horror movies that I like aren't really like true horror. It's like horror adjacent. Like I like Cloverfield or 10 Cloverfield Lane. I can handle that. I can do that. I can actually handle the first 3 Paranormal Activities, but that's it. I draw the line there.
I think for me, so I have this really strange fear of like lawnmowers and like it's like really weird. Like
I Shrunk the Kids.
So like no, it's not from that actually. And so it's lawnmowers and chainsaws specifically. I have like this really irrational fear of those things. One, because my uncle cut his fingers off on a lawnmower one time, and like,
like how many fingers he cut off?
2 of them. They sewed him back on, but he hasn't been able to use his fingers correctly since.
Yeah.
But the second thing is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I just have like every time I see a chainsaw, I think of that movie for some reason. Not the original, but the first remake with Jessica Biel in it, where they like show him cut the dude's leg off, and it's kind of like twitching on the ground, or like all the things that happen in that movie. That movie just like really like creeps me out, and like since then, and this was in like high school at some point. I think it came out like when I was in high school or middle school or something. I don't remember, but yeah, and since then I've just had this really weird, irrational fear of lawnmowers and chainsaws.
Makes sense.
Also, like the movie Saw, the first one, like when he has to cut his foot off. Ugh, that's gross too.
It's a fun time.
You know, I had to stop watching Saw movies. I think it was Saw 3. When the whole rib spreader thing, and that was the beginning of the fucking film, like it was the beginning, which is crazy because I sit back and think about like the other 2 films I saw, like like there was the one with the fucking heroin needles, that trap, the one where the person had to stick their hands in like a thing of acid to get something out, pulled the fucking eye out of your the key out of your eyeball socket and all that stuff, which is funny because I'm hyper squeamish. So, I don't even know how I sat through the whole eyeball thing, first of all. But we got to the first kill in Saw 3, I was like, I'm out. I can't anymore. Yeah, like, something about gore, it just fucks me up, which is crazy because, like, I've actually been in trauma situations in real life, and blood and all that stuff doesn't get me, but it's something about simulated gore that, it fucks me up every time, whether it's TV, movies, video games, and we were talking about in Boss Rush podcast about Dead Space. Like, I've seen every possible way Isaac can get killed in Dead Space, just because it's a death scene, so you kind of want to see it, but at the same time it's like, nope, I want to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah.
Well, there's a line like with torture porn and things of that nature. Like, it's just at some point it's just like, nope, really this is just inhuman, and it's not scary, it's not entertaining. It's
I cannot watch like Asian horror movies, like the authentic Asian horror movies, like Human Centipede and shit like that. No.
Yeah, that's like torture porn as well. Like,
Look, the South Park episode they did of Human Centipede was gross enough. I don't need to watch
it. It will not read.
The audition
was wild, dude.
The audition was wild.
Bro, that movie was like totally normal. You're like, man, something weird's going on with this film, and I can't quite figure it out. And then the bag moves.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
I had a horrible time with Hostel.
See that I cannot do Hostel. Yep, that's.
I had a horrible time with those movies.
I just think Hostel had a good message, but it was just weird.
It had, yeah. I still get down on the classics though. So it's Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I still get down on those. You know, like even in my opinion, even some of the remakes, the more modern versions were pretty good. You know, but the Rob Zombie fucking flicks, like those shits were amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are good.
Rob Zombie knows how to direct. He just doesn't know how to write.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, I'll say it.
No, you're right.
Hey, has anyone seen The Munsters?
No.
Speaking of Rob Zombie, has no one seen that yet?
No, wait.
Okay.
Wait. Is he? Is this
he made a prequel
he wrote
movie.
He wrote and directed a Munsters movie.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a prequel.
Is it like the Munsters show, or is it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's exactly like the show. Like it's
when did it come out?
2
last
weeks ago?
month. Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's new.
This month.
It's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu, right? I think.
Yeah.
Check that out.
It's
I used to love that. I used to love that show. That and the Addams Family.
It's a prequel. It's
real quick. I was trying to look up The Audition, but apparently there's a drama film called The Audition. That's not the horror movie you guys are talking about. And I'm reading the synopsis. I'm like, there's nothing scary about it. Keep going.
The film is auditioned by Takeshi Miike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
Which Miike does a lot of other really cool films like Ichi the Killer.
Yeah, Ichi the Killer. That was exactly what I was looking at.
That's not a horror film. That film, good lord, that film's got some gross shit in it.
That film goes some fucking places. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir. Oh man, I grew up on horror though. Like, I grew up on horror and I love it. I eat this stuff up with two hands. Like, for irrational fears though, the one thing I always think about to this day is the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's the scene where Johnny Depp gets pulled into the bed, and like everyone knows that scene.
Yes, yeah.
But
that
the
was
first time I was watching it.
That was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, right?
No, that was the first one.
No, that was the first
one.
one.
First one? That was the first. Wait, I thought the bed thing happened in the third one.
It happens in a handful.
There's a separate bed thing that happens in the third one.
The one with Johnny Depp is in the first one because he's like laying in it and it just like encompasses him completely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember now.
But I remember watching it on the edge of my parents' water bed with my brother, and literally at that moment when Johnny Depp starts getting pulled in, my brother, being the dick that he is, pulled me back and scared the ever living piss out of me, and to this day cannot sit on the edge of a water bed because I'm just like, someone's gonna yank me. I'm not doing it. Not happening, bro.
I hear you.
But I don't know. I love horror. I watch horror movies we do spooky Saturdays every holiday season. I don't know, man. I play a ton of horror games. I worked at a theme park for 7 years scaring people and building mazes.
It's crazy how badly I was victimized by the Alien movies, and like it's like my favorite horror sci-fi franchise.
It's so good.
And yeah, like I mean, like, you know, the body horror, you know, like, oh my god, like every time a chest burster scene happens, I know it's gonna happen, and it's like oh, I must look away, but I'm also like looking at the corner of my eye.
You ever watch like Cronenberg films?
Oh, fool!
Like The Fly.
Well, they're also mind.
Videodrome. Yeah. Oh man, those films are. Whew.
I grew up completely like repressed from horror. Like horror was not allowed in the house. Like horror and MTV were basically banned until I was like 14. It was, and then it was just horror.
And their MTV.
Yeah, it was. But then one time I found the Beach Boys playing Kokomo on MTV because I'm that old, and my mom was like, "Oh, we can watch this because it's the Beach Boys." I'm like,
Aww.
yeah, I know.
Bagel.
But when I came to Alien and Aliens and like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, like in my 20s, and by that time I had also learned a lot about just movies in general, and so like a lot of the allure and a lot of the entertainment factor completely lost on me, except for Alien as a franchise, because that franchise fucking rules. And like the first few Halloween movies are really good, but like a lot of that 80s horror like slasher stuff was just, I have not seen it just because it was not allowed. But the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre slaps. That's a good film.
It's a good film. There's not a whole lot of gore in that film, which is great.
Good dread in that film.
Mm-hmm.
That movie only had a $150,000 budget. Did you know that?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Gunnar Hansen just losing his mind at the end, just swinging himself around.
Mm-hmm.
Mamma mia.
That movie is. I mean, man, I don't. So is Texas Chainsaw Massacre the original slasher film?
No,
it's not.
not even.
Friday the 13th.
No, Friday the 13th came out after.
Yeah.
After Chainsaw?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like 77, 76.
I mean, we can go like real far back and do like Suspiria.
yes,
Suspiria is about is a slasher.
Okay, see,
Like-
I don't know that type. I don't know that
Yeah.
that history of horror.
Yeah, that's like Italian
Yeah.
giallos.
I just Google searched it. 13 Women in 1932 is credited as the original slasher film.
There you go.
Whoa.
Yep.
1932.
Holy crap.
Yeah, the classic.
Man,
Well, and then like you look at a movie like Silence of the Lambs, and people are like, oh, that's like the first one of those. Nah, Fritz Lang's M. You should look that
M.
up. That's a really good film.
Oh,
Creepy as shit.
M is so good, dude.
so that not Silence of the Lambs. What's the sequel? Hannibal, just Hannibal. Is that
Hannibal.
the sequel?
Hannibal or
Yeah.
Red Dragon
No,
or
it was-
Manhunter.
It was definitely Hannibal. Like that scene at the end where he's like literally has the guy's head taken off and you can see his brain.
Oh
And,
yeah,
like,
and he's feeding it. He's cooking it and feeding it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gross.
it's pretty cool.
No, it's so gross. Oh,
So I'm gonna guess by your reaction to that you haven't seen The Thing.
no.
The Thing.
No,
The Thing rules. The Thing
Yeah.
rules.
Thing was a masterpiece. Oh my god! Like I didn't.
What's this
I didn't-
was stuff? It still is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm using in the past tense. For like the time it came out. The Thing was what?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding around, LeRon.
Or 82.
82,
No,
I
it was
think.
82. It was
82.
82. Yeah, like that was one of the movies my parents didn't manage to keep me away from. I didn't see that movie until I was an adult, and oh my god, like okay, yeah, the creature effects were kind of crazy back then, but like they still stand up. Like the whole thing when like Home Dude's hands his arms get bitten off when he's trying to like defibrillate
Dude, it
somebody.
still gets me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, and you know what? I didn't even have a problem with the with the prequel that came out with Home Chick from Scott Pilgrim. I didn't have that big of a problem with it.
It was good. I just knowing what it was going to be before the studio stepped in just bums me out, and that's all. But everyone's always like that, so.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. What is she doing now? Is she doing anything now?
I don't know, being hot and attractive in Hollywood. I don't fucking know.
Good old Ramona Flowers, the purple hair.
Yeah, goddamn. Whew.
Shit, there was so many hot people in fucking Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, I was like, Chris Evans is in that, right? You're like, oh, how you? Damn, Chris Evans.
Yeah, who was the crazy ex-girlfriend? Like, who was that played by?
Oh, it's not who I want to say. It's not who I want to say it is. My knee-jerk reaction is not the right one. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's see.
shit. Hold on. Yeah, I was on IMDb it myself.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, Brandon Ralph was in it.
Mhm.
Wasn't Jim Carrey in one of them?
No,
No,
not Scott Pilgrim.
I don't know. I thought
Jim
he
Carrey was in Kick-Ass too.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
franchise.
Kieran
he's like-
Culkin.
He's like ashamed of it.
Those movies bleed together to me. I've never seen any of them, but they all kind of
Anna
feel like the
Kendrick
same.
was in it. I forgot about that. Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Talk about two. We'll have to have a celebrity crush night one night. Spoilers, they're both on my list.
Mamma mia.
Well, yeah.
Not to ruin anybody's fun, but
I'm just gonna say it. Michael Cera. Whew.
He's trying to make.
I still think of that scene. I still think of that scene in the movie This Is the End where is it Mindy Kaling? When she like says, "If I don't fuck Michael Cera tonight, I'm gonna die."
Yes.
I think I missed that.
That movie was
You don't
surprisingly
You
good.
don't watch movies, so I'm not surprised if you missed it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rip.
That's I mean that's true. I don't watch movies. I don't watch anything.
And they're like, Michael Cera really? Like, yeah, look at him, skinny, scrawny, obliterated on cocaine. What's not to like? Like, that movie's
I mean, at least you know what you like.
It's true. You like what you like, I guess.
Isn't Channing Tatum in that film for like
yes.
15 seconds as like a slave dog or something?
Yeah, he's like, Danny
Like,
McBride. It's like, I got G.I. Joe to be my gimp.
God, that movie was
That movie was off the chain.
good. It was a good one.
Movies.
Speaking of like, has anyone seen Tusk?
No.
Oh, the movie about a man who gets turned into a walrus,
What?
and it's
That-
written by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that's the Kevin Smith movie.
That sounds a little.
That movie, I don't know how much information I want to say about the first time I watched this movie. But fuck it. I watched that movie the first time I tripped on LSD, and that movie is a comedy gold.
Nice.
Comedy gold.
Dude, that movie was wild. And it's all like practical effects too. Like by the end of it, you're like, oh shit. Johnny Depp's in it?
Ooh. Yeah.
Haley Joel Osment is in it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
He's looking like a
Like Haley Joel
Somehow the
Osment
same
grew up.
age, but 20 years older. Like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
he's like a learned. It's like, look at you. Oh. It's like a
Justin
baby
Long
face.
is in it.
Anybody,
film.
He's a Mac.
anybody see that Brendan Fraser movie? That new Brendan Fraser movie? What's it
The
called?
Whale?
The Whale.
The whale.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh. I just looked it up.
You just looked up Tusk.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Walrus Man.
The so there was a viral video of Brendan Fraser going around after that movie came out. Everybody was like giving him a standing ovation. It was like super touching.
I'm glad he's coming back.
Wait, but didn't he like have to issue an apology for something recently though about the?
No, he's been quietly blacklisted for a while because he was accusing a high-ranking person of sexual assault.
Oh, Weinstein, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, poor guy.
It's fun. It's funny because I think what's his name too, Affleck. You know, like was saying stuff about Weinstein. It's funny how like Fraser, you know, got blacklisted, but Affleck didn't get shit. You know, Affleck. You know,
I don't know if they were talking about the same person though.
The same person. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember who Affleck or Fraser was talking about, but it was a guy who, when I saw a picture of him, he looked like the living embodiment of Mr. Burns. And I was like, I was like,
push itself out of the face.
like just looking at this man, like he looks like either a cartoon villain or a sexual deviant. There's only one of two ways this man can go, and it was
Or a
the
sexual cartoon deviant.
Yeah. But he didn't look like Smithers. Oh.
Ooh. Oh man, we talked about a lot of weird shit on this show tonight.
I know. I know. Like we filled. Wait, we filled up the entire hour too, didn't we?
Yeah, we're at an hour one right now.
Oh man. Oh man. We have one more we want to go through really quickly, or are we done tonight?
I think we could probably wrap it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have trouble sleeping tonight.
Yeah. I saw this walrus man, and
about the walrus man.
look,
Walrus
no,
Man is so funny though, dude.
no. All I'm gonna think about for somehow my dream tonight is gonna be the walrus man getting attacked by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy while I'm eating a Quiznos sub with strippers on me or something. I don't know.
with something randomly like erupting out of his chest.
Oh.
Cocoa butter and glitter.
Well, now that you brought the sub back out, for some reason, when you told that story originally, it made me think of a Parks and Rec episode where Ron Swanson says, "You had me at me, tornado," and I was like,
God damn it.
Oh, and you want to be a little further horrified? The person who sexually assaulted Brendan Fraser, Philip Burke. Philip with one L. And yeah,
I don't.
All right, so
Does he
now
look like the Crypt Keeper? Like whatever.
he looks like Mr. Burns.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
So can someone do a quick recap, because I just kept scrolling. So Brendan Fraser had to apologize because he accused someone of sexually assaulting him. That doesn't make any sense.
No, that I don't think Brendan Fraser had to apologize.
No.
Oh.
There's something going on with Brendan Fraser and the whale. Where I saw it was trending, and I was like, I can't stand Twitter trending now because like it almost doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Like it's like a click generator now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Philip Burke, yeah, this dude looks.
He looks rough.
Yeah, you're just waiting for him to go, excellent.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna talk like this.
No.
Oh my god.
He kind of looks like a mummy.
Yeah.
Tie it back to Brendan Fraser.
He's like, I was gonna say, he's like Brendan
He's full
Fraser.
of embalming fluid. That's what he is.
Ooh.
Why does this man smell like a mortuary?
God.
He's like gonna start selling his own cologne. It's called Merg.
It's called Crypt Dust.
Oh no. LeRon, get us out of here
that's what
before
he'll
this
sell
gets
you
any
in the
worse.
alley.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night here. But I just want you to know that this has been Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show of the flagship for the Boss Rush Network. I'm gonna stop saying that. By this point, what episode are we on now?
43.
43. I'll say it for 2 more episodes after 45. You already know it's the alternative show for the flagship at that point. So yeah.
After 45, he'll describe a different hole.
So what's this episode? Happy Haunted Holes?
No. Let's not revisit the holes. Not. This is too early for holes back in the title. Look,
Too early?
better than this.
Glitter in odd places.
We're
Mysterious stains.
It's my favorite
Mysterious
Garth Brooks
Stains.
song.
There you go. Mysterious Stains, yeah.
Chicken carbonara.
It's my favorite Garth Brooks song. I've got glitter in low places.
To our wonderful audience out there, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in and listening to the show tonight. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Matt and RushJet for hanging out with us. We're gonna go ahead and let you guys have the spotlight right now. Let people know where they can reach out and touch you at.
Whoa, who's
Rush,
touching
go first.
what?
Well, you can touch me. I am at RushJet TV on Twitter. You can yell at me there. I also do streaming Monday through Thursday on Twitch at Rogue Station 9. It's me and my close buddy Mark Classic doing some fun streaming stuff through the week.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you want to touch me, my DMs are open, so I'm going to regret that.
By the way, your t-shirt's been distracting me all night. Who the fuck is that?
It's Phil Collins. It's Phil Collins giving the finger with a tambourine stuffed down his pants.
Stuffed down his pants.
It is the best picture of Philco that ever has existed.
Why didn't they make that the album cover for No Jacket Required?
Right.
I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's like, hello, I must be going.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. How can everybody find you?
You can find me at @infinite_rewind on Twitter. The DMs are also open. Do what you will. And then you can also find me hosting a podcast about music called Trivial Merit and a movie podcast called Freereeling It. And the folks at Scanline Media invited me to the Bald Gun Guy show where we played through Hitman, the modern trilogy, level by level.
All right.
It's called the Bald Gun Guy. It's good.
Hey, Stephanie, are your DMs open as well? Are you going to be through tonight?
Oh, no one DMs me. I don't give a fuck. So, yeah.
Your DMs are dry as fuck, huh?
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
I DM'd you tonight.
Dang.
What am I, chopped liver?
I'm sorry. I haven't checked my Twitter in the last 30 minutes.
Jeez.
Oh, my Instagram is a mix of pictures of my cat, pictures of food, and poll stuff because all my poll friends are on it, so we all like put up. If I am doing poll stuff and I don't get DMs, then there's just something wrong with me. So
you know, people aren't paying attention because those
I mean, those heels you have are
those
they
heels you
rule.
have with
I
the
just want
tricky,
you to know.
with the light ring in them. Oh my god.
Yeah.
9-inch
Dope as
heels, I could poke some eyes out. Watch out. Anyway, so it doesn't matter whether my DMs are open or not. Great holes. Yeah. When you run out of holes, you just make some more. Anyway, people can find me on the internet at @Klimov_author, Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why you would bother, but anyway. I'm also here on Wednesday nights on the Boss Rush podcast.
All right, Corey. So far, everybody's DMs are open. Are you going to let us down?
Follow me on Twitter and find out.
I'm gonna DM him real quick.
I am. You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on the Boss Rush podcast and Nintendo Power Block, Tower Casuals, Expansion Pass, and other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
All right, and I just want you guys to look at me. Just
Look at me. Look
you
at me.
know my DMs are open, so yeah, just hit me up. Exodus 803.
I got that DM. I got that.
I'm trying to
DM.
send Corey dirty messages. I can't look at you right now, LeRon.
Yeah. It's been fun tonight. I really appreciate it. It was great hanging out with you guys. Like it. This is a first for us. Like 5 people on the show. This is
that's a good time.
So yeah, we did it. I appreciate it. As always, come back and join us for our next installment of Boss Rush After Dark, where we'll be back to talk with more topics that aren't content appropriate, content friendly for our other anchor shows. We've got a whole bunch of them. Thank you all if you're a patron of the show. Like, we appreciate you, and we continue to make these shows just for you.
Tell your friends.
Have a good night. Happy Halloween. You know, this is in the future, so yeah, happy Halloween. And we will catch you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Fill
Fill
those
them
holes.
Where did this stain come from?